A desperate Pete Hegseth, whose nomination continues to hang by a thread, is now just saying, listen, I'll say whatever I need to say for Trump to continue considering me for Secretary of Defense. Here is Hegseth on one of these let's clean up the mess Sean Hannity Fox News propaganda interviews where the whole concept of it is, you're so great, Pete. Why isn't everybody bowing down at your altar? Here is Hegseth saying, I never said anything about no women in combat roles. Take a listen to this, then we'll hear the original comment.
Means a lot. And I also want an opportunity here to clarify comments that have been misconstrued that I somehow don't support women in the military. Some of our greatest warriors, our best warriors out there are women who serve, raise their right hand to defend this country and love our nation, want to defend that flag, and they do it every single day around the globe. So
now he does something a little bit tricky, but we can see right through it. Here, Pete says, I never said we shouldn't have women in the military. Of course, no one accused him of that. What he said is we shouldn't have women in combat roles. However, the problem is he says women are some of our best warriors. Well, it seems logical based on English that if you're talking about women warriors, that does include combat roles. So he's playing a linguistic game. But here is the comment he originally made, which is what generated this entire discussion to begin with.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. We've all served with women and they're great. It just, our institutions don't have to incentivize that in places where traditionally, not traditionally, over human history, men in those positions are more capable.
So you might say, David, his position is very clear. He supports women in the military. He doesn't support women in combat roles. What's the problem? The problem is that the entire statement on the Hannity show was meant to debunk the claim that is being made about him, but he doesn't. The claim is he says get women out of all combat roles. He then says, I never said that. I think we should have women in the military. But these are, of course, two different things. But then he says, well, what about women warriors? Is a woman a warrior if not in a combat role? What's really going on here? It's obvious. Desperation. Desperation is fully set in. He brought mommy on TV to try to help him. That's not clear it worked super well. And now he's just willing to say whatever. Oh, the thing I said a couple weeks ago, cancel that. I both don't have a drinking problem and I will immediately stop drinking if you make me Secretary of Defense. Wait, so which is it? You have a problem or you don't? Because if you didn't have a problem, there'd be no reason to stop having an occasional beer. You would only make the promise, I will stop drinking, like many people with alcohol use issues make, if you're acknowledging that it is a problem. Now, as far as the women combat roles thing, this is not primarily a show about the military, and military readiness is not the primary policy focus, I believe, of the left. But I do think that there is something to learn here from the way that many fire departments do it. It is a qualification-based test. If the rule is, in order to be eligible for this combat role, you need to be able to drag a 170-pound body 50 feet in under 2 minutes and march X miles a day with Y weight on your back. If you can do that, it seems to me that that's what matters. And that seems to not really be the focus here, where Pete Hegseth is talking about from a morale standpoint or from a distraction standpoint or from a cultural standpoint, no women in combat roles. It seems to me that if that's a role that you want to have, there should be a clearly established set of guidelines that are gender and sex agnostic. And if you can do the thing, then you should be allowed to be in the role that is appropriate for that. So that's my view on it. If that doesn't make sense, and I defer to the people who know more about the military than I do, if it doesn't make sense to say it's competency-based in that way, let me know why. Many of us have bad habits we want to kick. Finding motivation can be hard, especially when life gets heavy and the bad habit seems to be what's keeping you sane. Thankfully, Fume is here to help you prioritize your health in a way that will not disrupt your daily life. Introducing Fume's award-winning flavored air device that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to smoking and to vaping. The point of Fume is to satisfy the hand-to-mouth fixation of some of these bad habits, which makes healthy change feel even easier. The Fume device is sleek, it's sophisticated, you can fidget with it. There is no nicotine here, only natural ingredients like plant extracts and oils. There's no electronics, there's no vapor. There is an amazing selection of flavors, from the popular crisp mint to the adventurous black licorice and cinnamon hearts. Fume is delicious, it's subtle, you can keep using it without feeling overwhelmed. So start your journey today. Go to tryfume.com and use the code PACMAN to get a free gift with your journey pack, which includes a Fume device, 3 core flavors of your choice, and a cleaning kit. If you are struggling to get rid of that bad habit, try Fume. The link is in the description.